Friday morning. It's Larry Sprinkle along with Chris Mulcahy, and here we go again. We were here this time yesterday morning talking about the weather situation and more of the same. I think the one thing is the fact that it's so cold out there already, and it's not going to get any better temperature-wise.
Yeah, we went 3 years with it being like this, being like a true winter, and now it is here. And yeah, Larry, we already hit our high temperature at midnight, and when the high temperature for the day is 34 degrees, you know that's not good. This is the coldest high temperature that we've had since 2018, so it's been a while.
Wow. Yeah. And here we go with, people thinking about the weekend issues are really all to the east and the southeast. That's where all the watches and the warnings are in effect right now, all the way from areas east of Interstate 77, Cabarrus County, Union County, down to Chester, Chesterfield County, and South Carolina, and the Carolina coastline. Tell you what, Carolina coastline, that is going to be, especially around Wilmington, Riceville Beach, Carolina Beach, down to Myrtle Beach. That is a potential ice storm down there, Chris.
Yeah, and Larry, you were bringing this up. You're familiar with that area and just the way the low pressure systems can set up. Oftentimes, you can have a pretty big corridor of ice, and it's been a while since we saw that, but it's kind of history repeating itself.
Without a doubt, many times down there, having spent some time at Greenville, North Carolina, East Carolina University, I was in several big ice storms that basically shut everything down. Yeah, in that little area right there, once again, it's all based on temperature and the timing, but it seems to be ice, and that is up to maybe in some of those spots up to maybe about a half an inch of ice, particularly from Wilmington down to Oak Island, North Myrtle Beach, up there towards Ocean Drive in that area. That's really the area with potential for an ice storm. And north of there, that's when you get up towards the coastal plain, Greenville, New Bern, Little Washington, snow. I don't know, maybe 4 to 5 inches of snow up there, Chris.
And by the way, just to put it in perspective, whenever you have a quarter to a half inch ice, that's crippling. That means it's really tough to drive. If you get a half inch ice, that's widespread power outages. So I think that's one of the biggest things that we're going to have with this, with the colder air behind that. So the system's going to be out of here by Saturday morning, but some areas along the coastline losing power. It's very cold as well. So it's one of those systems that build on each other.
That's why there's a disaster, North Carolina disaster area by the governor. He could extend that, expound upon it. For us here, really, I think this evening we could see some snow showers. I mean, some big flakes of snow, enough that, maybe an inch in the Charlotte area. You travel down 74, that's when you're definitely going to see accumulation, say, from Monroe to Rockingham, out in that area, out to Scotland County, maybe 1 to 3 inches. Chris, I tell you what, once you get from Raleigh eastward, that's really where they're going to see a lot of snow in the storm.
Yeah, and it's a heavy snow, too, because we haven't really had the rates that would allow for us to get a lot of snow. So some of that's going to be accumulating in a hurry, so about an inch per hour in some areas. So that's where things are going to be the most hazardous. For us, it's kind of aesthetically pleasing. If you could stay in for your Friday evening, you might be able to see some beautiful snowflakes outside your window. I would just kind of treat it as that. The big story for us, though, Larry, is really how cold it is here in Charlotte, because temperatures dropping down into the teens, feeling like the 20s today. Not one of my more favorite Fridays.
Not at all. And then tomorrow morning, Saturday morning, talking about cold, it's going to drop into the teens. We just see a steady drop in those temperatures right in through the, in fact, we look back the last 20 hours, and we were a balmy 49 degrees at 11 a.m. yesterday, and we dropped to 32 degrees right around now. So, and we're going to stay probably today in the upper 20s and low 30s. You talk about a high temperature of 34 degrees for Charlotte. Is this North Carolina or is this North Dakota or North Alaska?
It's North something. I'm just going to say that.
North Carolina for sure.
But yeah, it's bad when you look at 49 degrees yesterday. It's like, yeah, we want that back. Let's bring the 40s back.
And that's the average high is 52, so 49 is below average. But I'm telling you, it felt so good yesterday. I mean, it didn't even feel cold to be outside. I guess is what you get used to. And we are in this weather pattern. If you look at kind of extend things out for the next 10 days, we're still going to be pretty much below average, especially next week. So here comes winter full force.
Hello, great to have it. And Larry, the good thing, the final graphic that we're going to show you, at least you're seeing those sunny symbols. It's going to be a decent weekend, but it's going to be an icy start for a lot of us, especially with that snow. So be careful on Saturday morning. After that, things thaw out, but they don't warm up much. But at least you have the power of the sunshine during the afternoon to make it feel a little bit better.
And if you're traveling east, be very careful. A lot of problems to the east of here. Thank you very much. We'll be here throughout the weekend. Chris will be back at 11:30 this morning.
Yes.
If not, stay safe. Have a great